Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. As promised, I'm going to have a few episodes over the next 6 to 8 months having to do with my winery of the year, Barnard Griffin. Now, as I said before, I think Barnard Griffin has been overlooked over the past couple of years because it's been around for so long. They had the Tulip label for years and years and years, then they changed their label. And, people had trouble kind of grasping that, I believe. That's what I believe. It doesn't take away from their wines. Rob Griffin and his daughter still do an excellent job with their wines. Now, I know last episode I covered some of their reserves, and I wasn't super thrilled about the Roussanne. I did try it the next day, just to tell you, and it was a little better. But still, it wasn't my favorite. But, like I said, my winery of the year doesn't have to stroke 100%. As long as it's in the 90 percentile, that's all right with me. As I mentioned before, the winery was established in 1983. It's over there in Richland. If you ever get a chance to stop by, it's right next door to Bookwalter. And Rob would love to see you guys. Rob's very passionate about winemaking, and he has delved into a lot of different varietals, and we're going to try two that are of his reserve wine again. Now, I promise I will cover some of his, what he calls his signature wines. Used to be the Tulip label. We'll get into the Rosé, which is, we still sell a lot of the Rosé. I love his Merlot, on and on and on. I just don't want to blather too much. We're going to start out, first of all, with the 2016 Barnard Griffin Reserve Barbera from, what is that, Gunkel Vineyards. Gunkel Vineyards in, just says Washington State, but I'm sure it's Gunkel Vineyards, Barnard Griffin, Barbera 2016. So, Barbera is famous in what part of Italy? Make a comment. I'm sure you know the answer. But Barbera is the table wine in this particular part of Italy. Let me know what you think. What is that particular part of Italy where Barbera hails from? Cool thing about Washington State is that we in Washington State, winemakers can play with a lot of different varietals, and they seem to all do very well. Now, there are some winemakers that are very opinionated, think that you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. But really, most varietals planted in Washington, sans Pinot Noir, although they do some Pinot Noir on the Columbia River side of the gorge in the Washington, in the gorge appellation over there. But they do some Pinot, but it's not the big part of Washington State. It's really too warm to do Pinot Noir in most places in Washington. Let's look at the color of this Barbera first. Very, very dark. I have two big lights here that shine upon me for this episode, and this is very dark, like super dark, red, almost purplish a little bit. Okay, let's see what we get on the nose. Interesting, I love the nose on this. Let's see if I can nail it. It's got, I know this is going to sound weird, very grapey nose on it. A little blueberry, that's what I'm getting. Blueberry blended with a little bit of strawberry. I'm going to go blueberry, strawberry, maybe a little pomegranate coming through as well. There's a bark action there. Really, really, really nice aromatics on this wine. Let's see what we get on the palate. Delicious wine, delicious. Blueberry, strawberry, pomegranate, solid fruit, good balance. The tannins they're solid tannins, but very approachable. Nice expansion on the mid palate, seamless across the palate. And then at the very back side, you get a little bit of white pepper coming through. The bark notes really hit on the mid palate into the finish. It reminds me like a little bit of beauty bark, you know, more towards the redwood side of Beauty Bar, if that makes any sense. Nice high tone too. That acidity kind of peaks it, gives it a little hit on the palate. Really, I mean, it's like, boom, spikes on the mid palate into the finish. Where the strawberry pomegranate and blueberry just linger. I'm still tasting the stuff. I mean, really nice reserve wine. And we talked a little bit about the reserves of Barnard Griffin. I know that this is 45 bucks, right? They're both 45, actually. And yet, a lot of reserves, when you start getting the reserves of many wineries in Washington State, they exceed $45. So I think Rob's in a very good place on his reserves as far as the price goes. And this baby, this will age. It's got everything you need to age wine. Acidity, tannins, fruit, they're all there. They're all in balance. Very nice one. I'm going to go straight up A, hedging towards A+. Even a slight tobacco just on the back end. You get it. I love tobacco. You guys know that. A+. I will promise this time. I know I failed you guys last time. I'll put the link to my interview with Rob, and then I'll put the link to the wine, because you can only get this from the winery. And you know, if you want a good wine to try now and go into your cellar, this would be a great one. Just saying. Solid, solid, solid wine. Let's move on. 2017 Barnard Griffin Cab Franc, Columbia Valley, 45 bucks. I love his labels. They're awesome. Got the Griffin shirt on. Want to thank, oh come on, Greg for giving me one of these. Cool shirt. I think it's Barnard Griffin on the back, the Griffin on the front. Getting quite a few comments on the t-shirts. I think they're fun. You know, I like doing them. I'm looking for more. Always looking for interesting shirts to wear on the episode. Haven't found any recently though. And again, good color. This is just a skosh. Purple. Yeah, lavender, dark colors on this one. Let's see what we get on the nose. I love Cab Franc. Mike Sheridan and I did a Cab Franc episode. I'm going to have Mike Sheridan back on. That was fun. Really fun. I know I got a lot of positive comments about Mike being on there. It says a candied currant notes. Really interesting. There's really a candy-esque essence to the nose. Just a touch of tobacco. Candied currants. I'm getting a touch of violets as well. But I can't get over how candied it smells on the nose. I'm sure it's not that way on the palate. Let's see what we get on the palate. Very, very smooth and deep. I mean, this wine, 2017. That was a little tougher vintage, but this wine, I'm opening it way too early. I can tell just by drinking it, first sip, that this baby needs at least 4 to 5 more years before you open it. It's got nice depth to it, those currant notes, with a little bit of that kind of barkish element, the branch coming through, which you'd expect from a Cab Franc. A little cherry as well. The tannins are very approachable, but they're edgy on the finish. I like that. Good tannic structure. Good structure overall. Nice currant. A little bit of minerality on the backside as well. I'm getting oak tannins come through as well, but there's not a lot of oak on this for sure. Nice acid combined with it. You get a little bit of that herbaceousness that comes through on Cab Franc. Love herbaceous on my Cab Francs. Some people can't drink Loire Valley Cab Francs because they are so herbaceous. But this one has a nice combination of deep, integrated fruit notes with the acidity, with the tannins,
and then the herbaceous element sneaks through on the backside. It reminds me a little bit of maybe salal leaf or something like that. You know, not super pungent, but you know, it's there. I guess what I'm trying to say is usually Loire Valley Cab Franc will have a more tomato stem elements, maybe blackberry stem. This is a more subdued, but it's there and I like it. Very well made wine, very solid Cab Franc. Like I said, like the Barbera, this baby will age easily 10 years, easily, and I think you'll be, you know, you get a really solid bonus. To have a wine for 45 bucks that you can stick in your cellar and 10 years later pull it out and just have a really, really nice treat. That says a lot about this wine. Tobacco notes are really back there. I like it. Like I said, the finish is long. I'm going to go AA plus on that one as well. 2 solid reserve wines for my winery of the year, Barnard Griffin. And you know, I'm going to call it like I see it. These are really solid. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I really appreciate it. I do, very much. I upload on Mondays and Thursdays. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you remember to subscribe. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.